Just got some Browns breaking news here. Got to hop right in and make a video for you guys about David Njoku and his future in Cleveland. This is why you hit that subscribe button. I finished up the workday, got home, and then I saw we got some news, and I was like, I got to get a video for the Browns fans because they need to know right away when stuff is going down. So let's talk about Njoku, and this is actually news from Njoku himself, okay? This is his Instagram. This is his post. And I'm going to read to you exactly what Njoku has officially said on his Instagram. And this is a direct quote. He says, Cleveland, first off, I love you. These 9 years have been a beautiful journey. I'm so grateful for all the memories we shared together. Thank you to the Haslams, Andrew Berry, and the whole Browns organization for everything. All my teammates I shared the battle with, I'm so grateful for you guys. And here's the direct quote right here. The time for me to find a new home has come. And all I can think of is just the gratefulness in my heart. The city of Cleveland will forever be home. So that sounds pretty official and telling from David Njoku that he's not going to resign with the Cleveland Browns here. We all know he is a free agent upcoming. We have talked about rumors on the very show that you're watching right now. And his contract is set to void on March 12th. So right after the new league year begins, Njoku, who has been a Cleveland Brown for his whole career, and has previously said that he really wanted to stay in Cleveland, that he loves Cleveland. Well, it seems like some things have changed. His answers started to change in press conferences about his future. Even though he really wanted to stay here, he was so happy he didn't get traded. Now it looks like he's not heading back, and I believe this would be a Browns decision then. Maybe they've had some talks and, seems like they can't reach a deal. Cleveland doesn't have a whole lot of cap space. At the moment, they're actually negative in the cap space, but obviously Andrew Berry's going to do some things to change that up, you would think. So I imagine these discussions went down and it came down to, hey, we love you. And David's like, I want to be here, but you don't have enough to pay me. The Browns are like, we're not going to pay you that much. I mean, you're an aging tight end that gets injured. Seems like it's more fit for a 2-year deal with a team that is pushing to the playoffs and wants a athletic tight end like David Njoku. So, first of all, get your comments in the comment section. One-word reaction to the fact that David Njoku is not going to re-sign with the Cleveland Browns, and then we will talk about perhaps replacement options and what this means for the Cleveland Browns going forward. First of all, emotionally, in my one-word reaction, expected, makes sense, but I am, emotional about the fact that David Njoku, who has been a Brown his whole life and suited up in the orange and brown, is calling it quits here in Cleveland. And the reason I said expected is because we've got our tight end of the future. Harold Fanta Jr. is an absolute dog. He's a stud. He's athletic. He's a freak. He's a reception machine. He actually led the Browns in receiving yards. He's getting the tight end one role. And I think David Njoku feels he is still a tight end one and can be that for a different team in the National Football League and get paid by a different team in the National Football League. It just wasn't going to work out in Cleveland for this year. It wasn't. We were a 5-win team. He's got to go get a deal with a contender, I would imagine. Playoff team, at least. Which, I'm not saying that can't be the Browns, but you understand why it wouldn't work. We need to invest in offensive linemen, not another tight end when we have a tight end. But I've talked about this before. Todd Monken is bringing Ravens over left and right. Could he bring Isaiah Likely, who is also a free agent right now, younger than Njoku, very athletic, and would be an incredible addition to this Browns squad. I will tell you that. No doubt about that in my mind that we would love Likely. But again, that's probably, at least $10 million a year for Likely. We got to conserve our cap. But, man, that would work. A lot of Cleveland's offensive systems have been 2 tight end sets where you've got good blocking, but also both can be pass catchers. So a Fannin and Likely duo would certainly be phenomenal. It's also how Cleveland has established a run game throughout the years. Njoku was a big part of that too. But, this offense is going to need some help. And fortunately, a second tight end was not the way that you get that help, right? So, and remember, Andrew Berry said in his press conference there's going to be significant turnover on offense. They're trying to get younger, and they were the NFL's lowest scoring offense for 2 years in a row when you combine it. So Todd Monken as well will be involved in these decisions. I do think the Browns are still going to target another tight end because, as I talked about, the sets that a lot of Cleveland Browns teams have used, Todd Monken uses a lot of 12 personnel. He does. That's why I brought up Likely as well. But this is it for Chief David Njoku and the Cleveland Browns. Free agency is going to hit soon, and I'll tell you what, the Browns are going to be involved in it heavily. We've got plenty of free agents, and we got plenty of roster needs. So that is another reason you hit that subscribe button. It is totally free, and I have you covered here on the Browns Report. But bringing it back to Njoku real quick, man, I was always one of the people that hyped up David Njoku. I mean, it's crazy. It's been 9 years since we drafted him. 9 years. So we'll get a new wingmate for Harold Fannin Jr. here in Cleveland. But I always hyped him up, man. I thought at his best he could be a top tight end. But the time has come where injuries have plagued Njoku. He got a couple in the back half of this season, and that's when Fannin's role really started to increase. And Cleveland was like, yeah, we got a tight end one. Just a mutual, no hard feelings at all. Also, as you could tell by that Instagram post that I read out to you guys, like Njoku is he has loved the city of Cleveland. He has always wanted to be here. So no bad blood between the two teams. This is not like a I feel like there'll be more bad blood, when we play the Falcons and Kevin Stefanski, I'll tell you that. But Njoku seems like a mutual decision and respect for both the team and player, where it's like deal just couldn't get done. And I wouldn't have expected it to do so. So makes sense to me. But like I said, I want you guys, all of y'all, to put an opinion down in that comment section about the breaking news that David Njoku took it to Instagram and said, it's time for me to find a new home. He will not be returning to Cleveland. Some teams that have emerged as tight end needy are the Denver Broncos. Perhaps want to make this push for Njoku. I could see him wearing that orange uniform already. The Falcons have been in the mix, but I feel like they're going to keep Kyle Pitts. So, maybe not as heavy as a rumor there. What's more interesting is who Cleveland will bring in to replace David Njoku here, who, again, has been a Pro Bowler. I mean, he's 34 touchdowns in his 9-year run in Cleveland, over 4,000 yards. Like, he's a big piece of these offenses in his tenure with the Browns, and he never left. He never left until now. So that's where we stand on things, ladies and gentlemen. I mentioned Isaiah Likely as someone who could come in and replace Njoku, probably one of the best tight ends on the market. Travis Kelce's a free agent as well. I don't think Cleveland's... Hey, he's an Ohio guy, Travis Kelce. I'm just going to throw it out there. But I feel like if Kelce's going anywhere, he's going back to the Chiefs. But, maybe you can all use that little hometown swing, right? Kyle Pitts is a free agent too, by the way. I brought him up. But I feel like the Falcons franchise tag him or re-sign him, something of that nature. Older options too. Darren Waller's out there, who came back this year and, he's actually scoring touchdowns in Miami from Tua. Target that makes things easy and would probably be very cheap if the Browns wanted to bring him in. Could reunite with our old friends, Harrison Bryant. There are some options out there this season in the tight end market. Cleveland also has Brendan Bates as a free agent, but he is not like a straight-up unrestricted free agent. He's an exclusive rights free agent, right? Because he's got fewer than 3 accrued seasons for his expired contract. So the original team, if they can tenure a one league minimum contract, and the guy Bates can't negotiate with other teams, basically, is what I was trying to say. So We'll see what the Browns will like to do there with Brendan Bates, but it'd be pretty easy for them to get him back on the roster. Not that he was a major factor or anything, but there's options out there. I expect Cleveland to add one, and that is, again, why you hit that subscribe button, because when they do, or when they're rumored to be interested in tight ends and players in free agency, I will make a video, and you'll be the first to know before it happens. That's what happens here on the Browns Report, baby. So appreciate you guys rocking with me here on today's show, day after the Super Bowl. We got Browns news already, baby. So 3 videos today. Would really appreciate a like on the video too, because I'm working hard for you guys, and I appreciate you all being diehard Browns fans like myself. Appreciate you watching, and I'll have you covered more videos. Got another one coming out, 2 more tomorrow. So stay tuned. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk.